Welcome to another edition of ABQ Sports Crew. We are live here at the ABQ Sports Crew studios. I am Joshua Creel in the studio with Adam Nish.
How's it going?
And Mr. Paying Attention to the TV Too Much, Elijah Esquivel.
Hello.
We are watching the live coverage right now of the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots. We'll keep you updated throughout the day. But we got a lot to talk about, especially a very heated subject that happened in the NFC Championship. But
we'll get there.
We'll get there. First of all, once again, thank you for tuning in. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give us a subscribe. You can also hit that little notification bell on your screen, and I'll let you know every time we go live. But guys, how do you feel this weekend went so far? Just today's game, and then also watching this Chiefs.
You're making me look this way, and there's a game over there.
I know. I'm trying to. It's hard.
And there's a light right on Elijah's face, so he's like leaning and trying to see. We'll keep you updated on the games. If you're tuning in while watching the game, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for chatting. Welcome to ABQ Sports Crew. And are we going to get straight into that game earlier?
We have to get straight into the
There's quite a bit to talk about.
So today's week, for those of you who don't know, today is the championship weekend. It's the AFC and NFC. Fumble picked up by the Chiefs.
Let's go.
What an idiot.
Is that Julian Edelman? It was Julian Edelman.
Did they call it? Did they call it? Time out. That's a
Yeah,
touchdown. Yes. Gimme.
He said he.
What was he doing?
All right, we got to get back to the show. Anyway.
All right, guys.
All right, so today what happened in the NFC Championship game, it was the Rams securing a spot in the Super Bowl for the first time since 2003 when Kurt Warner was there.
The Rams,
or 2001, excuse me.
Rams are the refs.
And I want to point something out real quick. There is a lot of that football game we're going to talk about, not just the one call that I know we're going to get to, I know we'll discuss, but there was a lot of football played today, and we'll give you our takeaways.
So it came down to overtime. The second time that New Orleans has hosted a overtime game. It started off 2 field goals in a row by the New Orleans Saints. They got to a 6-0 lead, and then they finally got some ball movement from Drew Brees. He actually threw to his 68th different receiver for a touchdown in his career, and that just lets you know that Tom Brady shares the ball with everybody, and he did an amazing job today, except for when it came to overtime. But I think Tom Brady was a playmaker today, or Drew Brees.
I was really confused what you've been talking about this entire time.
Drew Brees.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, it's an incomplete pass, so it's coming back. But no, Drew Brees played a pretty solid game. So the Saints got out to a heavy lead. They were the better team throughout the game today. It was like it's like the Rams didn't have an answer for the Saints throughout today's game. Kamara was playing lights out, and it was just a quick and powerful start by the Saints. It was really a one-sided affair all the way up for the most part until halftime. They narrowed it down. And here's the thing. We'll get to that call at the end, but at the end of the day, one call by a referee shouldn't make or break your game. I know it can, and it leaves a nasty feeling in my stomach just because championship weekend, you want the better teams to win, and who knows, they very well may have, but it's hard to say. There's going to be that discussion because of what was a blatant, not only pass interference, but a helmet-to-helmet contact as well. A nasty shot at the end that really took the game away from the Saints.
Well, my biggest takeaway is this is the first time in history that I've ever witnessed that one play actually did dictate the entire game. Mm-hmm. Normally, one play does not dictate. Today, one play dictate the entire game because the game would have been over if they would have got that first down. And again, there's times when we see pass interference calls that are 50-50. You can see kind of, and while in full speed, it's a much more difficult call. This one, in full speed, half speed, slow speed, no matter what speed it was, that was an obvious pass interference. Yeah. Obvious. And just a blown call. I don't know how you do not call that. The dude just got lit up.
What the referee told Sean Payton was that the ball arrived at the same time that the defender was hit.
No. Sean Payton called the league office after the game was over, and the league office flat said they missed the call. Not only did they miss the PI, but they missed the helmet-to-helmet contact, and they got screwed. There's no two ways about it. They absolutely did. That being said, who knows after that? Does the kicker make the field goal?
Yeah.
It's a football game. That's why you can't leave it to chance. And it shouldn't have been that close. They got out to a huge lead, and they let the Rams back into it. And the Rams are a good team, so you can't knock them. They earned that championship.
Give it to the Saints for eliminating the one thing the Rams were good at, and that was running the football. C.J. Anderson only had 45 yards, and Gurley, we don't know what was the full story behind that, but he really did not play today. He had a touchdown run, but he still was not the main ball carrier for the Rams.
He didn't do anything against the Cowboys either. Gurley is becoming one of these like a James Harden, right? Come playoff time, seems to fall off the base of the air. Basketball reference, right?
That's weird on the sports group.
Especially me, I don't really watch basketball. But anyways, yes, coming to, for some reason, Todd Gurley, who's the MVP candidate, he was all-pro, and these playoff games have been the quite opposite of all-pro.
I think honestly, if I had to guess, he's nursing an injury.
Here we go.
I mean,
Here's
I
some
think so because they
excuses,
flat
man.
said he is going to be back at full force come the Super Bowl. I mean, why wouldn't you? He's got an extra couple weeks. But I mean, you go out there and you tell somebody that you've got an injury that you're nursing, and what are they going to go after in today's NFL?
Oh, here we go.
And we're
you
about
must,
to
you must
see-
be an Aaron Rodgers guy too. It's always nursing an injury, or even LeBron, right? Loses the championship and then conveniently
You know I'm
has
not a
a
LeBron guy.
cast over his thumb or whatever it was. Get out of here! You're bumming it up. But he's lucky that his team is.
Oh, hit his thumb. Sorry, random.
He's lucky that his team is carrying him because he is not doing very good at all. But luckily they got that big old guy, C.J. Anderson, to kind of take some of the load.
So let me ask you guys something real quick. I know the call is the biggest thing on the night. It's going to be the thing talked about till next season, till the next season starts. What about Drew Brees and Sean Payton?
What about the Saints in general in
Are they
NFC
coming? Is
Championship
Drew
games?
Brees coming back?
Oh, it's Drew
Yeah.
Brees, absolutely.
You
Yeah,
think so?
come on, they're not going to get rid of him.
That was a good discussion, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for that.
Next topic.
No, so I mean, I'm not just NFC Championship games, but in the playoffs. Last year, you had the miracle, the Vikings sneaking away with on the Stephon Diggs pass, and then they
You
get
almost said Stephen
robbed.
Curry.
They get robbed there at the end of the game. You almost feel for Who Dat Nation out there, but I mean, in my opinion, if you ask me, the better team did not win that football game today. I still feel like the Saints were the better. They played the better game. They were the better team overall, and they didn't come away with it. Hats off to you, Rams fans. Now, what's interesting is like our friends over in St. Louis. A lot of St. Louis fans are pissed about it. They're not. I mean, a lot of hearts were changed with the move of the Rams to LA. So it's interesting seeing that divide as they're going to the Super Bowl. Is it time to jump on the bandwagon again, or is all the love lost for the Rams?
I don't know. I looked at like the Cardinals Twitter and stuff like that. And they said congratulations to the Rams. So,
Well, I mean, yeah, you still have the players. You can't take it out against the players. However, the more winning happens, the more management rakes in the money, and that's what's going to piss you off because that's the reason why they left in the first place. So it's kind of that. Yeah, it definitely leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But at the same time, they've been rooting for that team for so long that it's hard just to really do a complete 180 and root against him. So I'm sure most of Rams Nation
And the call
in St. Louis is probably pretty happy right
the call was overturned. It will be Kansas City's ball.
now. No.
Or,
Oh,
New England's ball.
New England's
Oh,
ball.
man.
Don't play with my emotions like that.
There's the
We're
tough one.
pulling for the Chiefs right now. But kudos to you, Rams Nation. Kudos to you getting LA in the Super Bowl. They had to play a good game. They honestly did. You can't take it all away from them over one call. It's going to be interesting, in my opinion, whether it is the Chiefs or the Patriots. My mind has completely flipped. I think the Super Bowl winner will come out of the AFC this year. But it's going to be interesting to see. But hats off to you. I mean, that was a heck of a game. Now, I think this is the thing that we were talking about earlier. In my opinion, what a terrible championship weekend. I mean, you've got a game being decided off of a bad call,
Right.
and then the Patriots on their way to a Super Bowl as it looks right now. I mean, we're pulling for it. We're watching it right now. But, I mean, come on, Chiefs. Come through for us.
Yeah.
I don't know how I can watch another Patriots Super Bowl.
You know, I
honestly.
don't really know who I'm rooting for because I don't hate New England like these guys do. But now that the Rams are in, the Rams-Chiefs is, to me, a more intriguing matchup. If the Saints would have won, I would have loved to see Saints and Patriots, right? Because you have the two old guys
Legends.
in there, going at it, two of the smartest quarterbacks to ever play the game. But now that we have all the young guys in there, I kind of would nice to see Kansas City because then it's really the next generation of superstars in our league.
It's
Interception
And
for
there
the
he
Chiefs.
goes.
Come on. Side note, pause the show. Let's go. Chiefs Nation, rise up. Sling them tomahawks. That's what we're talking about. That's what we need.
Ball don't lie. That's the second one.
That's
for
what we
Brady.
need. Hey, and there goes our Brady graphic. We had to get that on the screen. We hate Tom Brady here, minus Elijah. We are not Brady fans. So
I will say this.
Oh, that's Edelman.
I'm not a Brady fan, but I do
Edelman's
respect the
fault.
heck out of the guy for taking his team to so
you
many
know what I'm
championships.
sick of though? I'm sick of this dump off 3 yards. Like he has overthrown like 6 balls this game.
That was
and every
not
time,
overthrown. He
No,
should've
I'm
caught
saying
that
in
one.
general. He's been overthrowing people left and right, and every dump off
that was
screenplay he has, they're like, he's 41 years old. Oh my God. Brady, no, he's not the quarterback he was. In fact, I would take, and right now in their career, I would take Drew Brees hands down over Tom Brady. Just more athletic, can launch the ball down the field. So, I mean, that's just my feeling. Now tell us, what were your thoughts on today's games? The one's in progress right now, so thank you for joining us. But what was your thoughts from the call, or the non-call? I don't know. They're going to dub some name for it. It's going to be as infamous as the butt fumble.
Yeah, in the paper tomorrow. It's really that's going to be the headline. That's all everyone's going to remember for the whole game. You're going to talk to most people who watch the game, and they're not going to really. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. I'm trying to hold it in. They're not going to remember a ton about what happened because that was such an integral part of the game that it's like that's all you remember. And when you think back to that game, all you think is just the non-call, right? Name some of the other touchdowns that happened. It's like, I don't even know. Like, that took so much out of me.
What's his name? Hill scored a touchdown for the Saints.
Yeah, off that screenplay.
And a fullback that they just picked up this week after practice squad got a touchdown. So
crossing route.
Curious and leave us a comment on our feed and let us know what you think. And it's such a bad call. It's so unfortunate that it's 2 years in a row that the Saints
What's worse, that call or Tom Brady?
The tuck rule.
The tuck rule.
The tuck rule, absolutely, because it created this monstrosity that we're seeing on the TV right now.
It was the start of that.
Disgusting perversion of the NFL.
Hatred.
It is hatred.
I feel bad for Drew Brees because that last pass, he got hit. He got knocked pretty good.
He shouldn't have thrown that, though. Yeah. He knew he was under pressure.
That was exactly.
He knew he was under pressure. That's why he's not Tom Brady.
And that was good heads-up defense by the Rams. Get out of here. Brady just threw a pick. What are you talking about? It's getting called back?
No. The Watkins dropped it.
They challenged.
Yeah.
No. Brady. I'm talking about Brady's pick.
Yeah.
Producer scaring us over there.
Jeez, don't play with my emotions like that. There's some serious Tom Brady hate going on right now, and you can't do that to me.
Where's Greg at? Come on. He's probably watching the game. He's like, I ain't watching the game.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not. I'm not watching my brother.
I'm watching the game.
I'm watching the.
Where you at, Greg? Where you at?
They say the whole nation right now is rooting for the Chiefs.
Except for
I feel like there's some
Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine area, like that's all going for the Patriots right now.
So how about the change in strategy going into this game, though? Because they were saying it's -5 degrees, and it's a whole different ballgame that you're seeing out of each. And what does this do for Andy Reid's legacy?
He needs to
win.
I think if he wins the Super Bowl, then we kind of forget about how bad he is in the play. He's the Todd Gurley of coaches in the playoffs. But I just
no love.
I'm still bitter over that loss last week. Anyways, though, but if Andy Reid can beat Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, make it to the Super Bowl and win, but I think even if he makes it to the Super Bowl, it's just the start, right? They're already talking about paying Mahomes $200 million in 2020.
That was the breaking news today. He goes touchdown.
Touchdown Chiefs. And you know what I love is I'm watching Elijah, and he's talking to the camera like this. He's like, they're talking about, we got our TV right here.
The only person has a light blocking my view of the TV. So.
Oh, man, I got a great view. You want to come over here?
We can't miss the Sports Crew, though. We have 2 weeks left.
This reminds me back in the days, remember when we were on the radio? When we were on the radio? And all of us were watching the Sunday night football game. No one was really talking during the show. We were all busy watching the stupid football game.
So we actually have 2 more weeks of Sports Crew. We won't have one on the Super Bowl. So basically the way it's going to work is next week, since there is no football going on, we're going to have some
Pro Bowl. What are you talking about? We got the Pro Bowl, man.
Jesus.
What'd you call me?
We can't. There's not going to be real football going on. So we're going to have. I love the Brady thing. So we're going to have a show. We're going to be breaking down the Super Bowl. We're going to be playing lots of games next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. No show on the week of the Super Bowl, but the one after that, we're going to have a recap. We're going to have a send-off because that is the end of Season 1 on YouTube for ABQ Sports Crew until probably March or April, and then you'll see some off-season edited content.
We're working on the documentary right now. Like we said, it's going to be about Patrick Dennehy, a former University of New Mexico Lobo basketball player who was murdered by his roommate at Baylor University. It started a big scandal over there, by the way.
And then we'll come back strong in March, right in time for NASCAR season.
Tom Brady fan, talking NASCAR, like he's a free agent. Anybody wants him on your show.
Watching NASCAR.
This happens when you're a Cowboy Dodger fan and you just have nothing
We will be back when the Cardinals are picking their first overall pick and getting
what's his name?
Kyle Murray from Oklahoma and trading Josh Rosen to New York Jets to replace Sam Darnold.
Hey, speaking of last week's game, how about you guys finally getting rid of your offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
You'll give me one
Remember,
for that.
Elijah was totally worried about that last week.
I mean, they already said that they're going to keep Linehan and it's going to keep all the same pieces in check. And I told you all, I said, now that Jason Garrett's, we know he's going to get an extension, which I don't agree with that at all, but we need to get rid of our coordinator. And that was going to happen. So I was like, oh, here we go again. And so, yeah, they mutually parted ways. Obviously, nothing's ever mutual, so I don't know if we're ever going to get the full story of that one. We're bringing in John Kitten as a quarterback coach, and they're even talking about possibly...
I've actually caught a touchdown pass.
You guys got rid of Kellen Moore as the quarterback?
Moore. It's really weird seeing all these reports about Kellen Moore being a rising star. And I'm like, I have no idea what he's even done since he's been on the Cowboys. So how do you be a rising star if nobody knows what you even do?
When I saw that about Kitten, I got all pumped because I actually, John Kitten was at that draft event I was at down in Dallas, and I actually got to catch some passes from him. That was pretty cool.
The only completed passes of his career.
I know. Hey, he has a few with the Lions. Anyways, if you guys...
Frog.
Teenage boy over here.
If you guys are just joining in, thanks for tuning in. We are watching the game with you. I know you're watching that too, but thanks for tuning in. It's going to be a good time tonight as we break down the championship weekend. It's been a fun one. It's been kind of weird.
How do you guys think Jared Goff did today?
I mean, he looked like a deer in the headlights when he came out, to be completely honest. I was scared it was going to be another lackluster playoff performance. McVay is a great coach. The team as a whole came in prepared.
The guy's our age and is already going to the Super Bowl.
He kept his composure, which is all you can ask. That's really what it comes down to. If you look at right now, Mahomes looked like a deer in the headlights when he came out. They managed 32 net total yards in the first half of football. Recomposed, came out, he's playing solid football now. So out of those younger quarterbacks, that's all you can ask.
Goff was 25 of 40 for 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Drew Brees was 26 of 40 for 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And
crucial interception.
That one put the dagger in it. But, I mean, let us know how you guys are feeling out there. I mean,
that's what I'm saying, though. Say he doesn't throw that pick. I mean, you can't put everything on that.
You could say that throughout the whole game. What if this didn't happen? What if this didn't happen?
And keep in mind,
I'm going all in on the bad call.
The Rams were penalized 44 more yards than the Saints were, as a whole for the game. So
all in on the bad call.
It's going to be the thing talked about for years to come. It's always going to be about how the Saints got screwed over in the NFC Championship.
I don't know. Next year, when the Jets surprise the world and win the Super Bowl, that's what everyone's going to be talking about.
Is this a bigger controversy than Dez caught it? What?
No.
That's a bigger controversy.
Because Dez did not catch it.
Yes, he did.
I mean, by today's rules, he absolutely caught it.
Yeah, we don't
100%, 10 times over.
We don't know what today's rules are. So, what do you guys feel about this game? I want to know.
You can't see, so I don't know.
He's got the light right there. I mean, what's going on? What's going on with this is what bugs me, and I'll get into it again. Everyone's freaking out. Look at them. They're like, "Oh, look at Brady. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest ever."
So calm and collect.
He knows the game, but he's a glorified coach at this point in time. He can't throw it accurately deep down the field. I mean, Tebow, I trust throwing a better ball down the field right now. Tom Brady knows how to throw people open, but he can't throw it accurate for more than 5 to 8 yards right now. He's done. He needs to hang it up after this year. Almost threw an interception there because he's a god-awful Kyle Orton wannabe. I mean, that's...
No flag.
Kyle Orton, man. I haven't heard that name in years.
No flag.
It's terrible, man. I hate Brady.
Roughing the passer. They hit him in the head.
Of course, you breathe near Brady. You breathe near him, and you're gonna catch some laundry.
Hey, come on,
man. Did he get hit in the head? He got hit in the head. I saw the elbow to the head.
Yeah, leave Brady alone.
I mean, do they want a rematch? Do they want that Patriots-Rams Super Bowl? Because that ended up interesting last. Oh, God, they smacked his chest. You smack Brady's chest after an incomplete pass, and they're gonna be like, hey.
He gave him a purple nurple. Look at that.
I mean, I'm sorry, we're watching the game live right now. This is just disgusting. You're gonna give him 15 yards and a first down over that god awful garbage.
You're gonna injure my
quarterback. Come on.
Oh man, good call. Good call.
God, I hate Tom Brady so freaking much, dude.
Man,
like,
good call.
The whole NFL is just.
That was a sketchy call.
Like, if you could go softer than you were on Aaron Rodgers, that's Tom Brady's life.
Look at it. They got it because he blinked.
Hey, that's not as bad as a call of.
His pinky did graze the edge of his.
Hey, come on. The Cowboy, Dak Prescott got sacked by his own guy 2 weeks ago. So I don't want to hear about bad calls.
So the Rams go into the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 53.
Foul all day. Come on.
They're going to call it. Watch. They're going to throw it.
Jeez, you're holding him.
Dude, the calls are so inconsistent and god-awful. The referees are the worst I've ever seen in these playoffs.
I mean, it's overthrown because the dude's holding him the entire time.
It's Gronk. What do you have to at least be on one of his shoulders if you're going to slow him down.
It's just funny watching. This is good. That should have been. You got popcorn over here because I like watching these two bicker right here.
I mean, for those of you watching, I appreciate you tuning in while we watch the game. This is terrible. Hey, how'd the quarter do?
Quarter right now is me, you, and the quarter are 1-0 right now. Elijah's picked New Orleans, so
Yeah, rigged.
right now the quarter is the closest to getting it right if Tom Brady can.
Oh,
what a
catch!
catch.
Who was
That was
that?
solid.
If
That's
Tom
gotta
Brady
be who
completes
else?
this victory, the
Hogan?
quarter
Never mind.
will be the only one going 2-0. So
So my prediction right now, we've got 40 minutes left in the show and 6 minutes left in this game. My prediction is the game is still going
great
by the time this show ends.
Probably.
6 minutes left in fourth quarter of an AFC Championship game. Yeah, we probably got a good 40 minutes left. Who are you rooting for? What Super Bowl do you want to see? It's anybody but Brady and the god-awful, gut-sucking scum of the earth Patriots. I'm like heated right now. I'm shaking. I want anything in the world but a Jets.
Casey is challenging the call.
I don't know what I went Jets there.
Yeah. You're delusional.
Jets and AFC Championship.
We never
game.
talk about
That's
the
how
Jets
they go.
this time of the year.
Wasn't
Come
it the
on.
last time that the Patriots were not in an AFC Championship game? It was the Jets.
It was Jets. Yeah.
That's clean. They never hit the ground.
So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching ABQ Sports Crew as we watch the or AFC Championship game and we scream
what
about
happened?
these god awful calls.
What's going on?
with the TV? Okay, there they go. They got it together. That freaked me out, guys. What are you excited for out of this Rams team? And is this Rams team young enough and put together well enough to where this is the beginning of a long-term dynasty? They were taking a look at that new stadium today, and what a perfect time for them to come in, crush it, win a Super Bowl, and then go off onto their new stadium. Could you imagine launching an LA stadium like that?
Are they sharing it with the Chargers?
Yeah,
Are they?
yeah.
Was that a fair?
Isn't it? I thought it was.
I don't know.
I asked the question.
I don't
You're
know.
asking
I
me
saw on
again.
Instagram that the Rams like hearted it when they. That's all I saw. I don't know what that means.
Instagram.
I don't know. I heard that the Chargers Stadium is gonna be like in Carson, California, or something like that, or something like that. I'm not sure what's going on with LA, but that just tells you there's just so much going on
Yeah.
in LA.
So guys, call in, text in, hit us in the comments. Let us know what you thought about the non-call today, about the upcoming Super Bowl, and who you're pulling for in this game as the Kansas City Chiefs have a narrow lead.
And we will also be talking about how long the national anthem will be in the Super Bowl and
Color of Gatorade.
Hey, how
Color
about
Gatorade's gonna be
Jimmy
for it.
Buffett today? Just going out saying just showing you don't need. I mean, there was a lot of mixed emotions, but showing you don't need a lot of flair, and it wasn't the best rendition. They just went out there and sung it. I loved it. It was one of my favorite renditions I've seen in a good minute.
or what color the Gatorade's gonna be, what
Yeah, you gotta have good props.
how Maroon 5 is gonna do in the halftime performance. Like the first time we've had a band in a while, so.
Maroon 5.
What was going on with that? There was like so many people that were pulling out of doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
Well, because they wanted to do like special guests. You know how they always have special guests with the lead, like the band or whoever's the main performer.
Just have Timberlake and Janet Jackson again. I watch. Is that too far?
No, but answering your question, I think the Rams could be something to mess with within the next few years. It just depends on how many players they can get back. Is Sue going to stay? How can they afford Donald when he, becomes free agent time? Can they afford Cooks? Is Cooper Kupp coming back? Like, these are so many questions that are left unanswered. But right now, the Rams just don't care. They're ready to go to the Super Bowl. And how do you feel if you're Cooper Kupp, your team finally gets to the Super Bowl, and you can't play?
I mean, he's still being supportive of his team. He's still pumped. I mean, how about the additions that they were able to piece together throughout the season? How about the addition of Fowler on that defensive line?
Yeah.
He's the one that caused the interception of Drew Brees. Had he not been there, who knows? That single move, it just shows how intricate the year is, the moves that are made are. And how about the fact that, I mean, think of it, if the Patriots end up losing this game, the fact that the miracle, the Miami Miracle on that walk-off touchdown was the difference between them playing in New England right now.
How would you guys feel if this was in New England now?
I
Would this
forgot
be a
about
whole
the
different
Miami
ballgame?
Miracle. That's so good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That one
So
miracle
good,
play
yeah.
walk-off.
I forgot about that.
They'd be in New England right now if it wasn't for that play, or if they beat the freaking Lions.
But if you're just saying that because you guys beat the Lions and New England didn't, so.
No, I mean, that's the Jets by the transitive property
think
are
we lost
obviously
to the
much better
Lions,
than the
too.
Patriots, the Super Bowl caliber team.
Right.
I think we lost the Lions too this year.
So Jets are
But
better than the Cowboys.
Honestly,
Wow.
if this game was in New England, would it be as close as it is right now?
I don't think so. I mean, you've got a young team and they're inexperienced, and they showed a graphic before this game. Collectively, 36 members of the Patriots have AFC Championship experience.
And zero
Zero.
for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Zero.
Shows how far experience goes.
The only one with the championship experience is Andy Reid.
Right.
And
That
we all
didn't
know
go
how
over
that goes.
That was back in the Eagles days.
Eagles. And
Fly.
Hey,
Eagles,
so
fly.
how do you guys feel? Say Andy Reid does win this game right here. Remember, he was a young Rams fan back in the day. Remember that video clip of him doing the
don't
pass,
think-
punt, and kick competition? He was in a Rams helmet. And
Something tells me, should the Chiefs win, that Andy Reid will not be rooting for the Rams in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Should they lose, I'm sure that he will be rooting for the Rams in the Super Bowl.
And give it up to Sean McVay. I mean, the dude's 32 years old and about to be 33 years old, and he's already probably going to be one of the greatest coaches if he goes into this and does what he did with this young Rams team. And look what he did. They were 7-9. No one ever even cared about the Rams. How many of you guys heard of the Rams before he went in there? The only reason we heard of them because they went 7-9 every year with Jeff Fisher. So look at what he did for this team, and look what he did for Goff.
Well, I mean, and what's funny is afterwards, Jeff Fisher was saying, well, these are a lot of my players. I pieced together a lot of this team. And he's taken a lot of credit for this team that's out on the field. Right now, America needs the Chiefs defense to get big and hold them, because it looks like we have a fourth down,
Tom
3
Brady
minutes,
sneak.
57 seconds remaining
Brady
in quarter
sneak.
number 4.
Tom Brady sneak.
I'm going to
I think Jen's going to throw something across the room.
this. I feel like this would hurt.
How heavy is it? Tom Brady sneak.
That's our old little...
So, guys, call in, text in, comment, let us know what you think. Did you enjoy the game today? Did that call ruin it for you? Or what are your takeaways from the NFC Championship game? 3 minutes, 50 seconds. I feel like we'll hear a lot more from folks once the final
once the
seconds
game's
stick
over.
down here. I'm on the edge of my seat. I am screaming for the Chiefs to win right now. My prediction is this, and I'll throw it out there right now. If the If the Chiefs win this game, they're going to win the Super Bowl. If the Patriots win this game, the Rams will win the Super Bowl.
You just don't take New England.
No, I'm not biased. It's just an educated football
So
guess.
you're rooting for the Chiefs. You don't care that they're in your division at all. Okay. Yeah. Good.
I'm not
So
like
you
you guys.
conversation.
I'm not like you guys. Where
So you were obviously
anybody
rooting for
from
the
your
Patriots
division.
last year.
Anybody from your division
Oh,
goes to the Super Bowl. You want them.
Absolutely. I was the biggest Patriots fan in the world last year in the Super Bowl.
I remember.
Hey, you know
Yeah.
what? Speaking of which, I mean, I know it's kind of a side note, but I think the Eagles have a lot to look forward to, but it sounds like they're moving on from Nick Foles.
Biggest concern,
Health.
health. Do you keep Carson Wentz or
You
do
should
you
keep
keep
Nick Foles. They're getting rid of Nick Foles. And
Here's the Brady QB sneak.
oh, come on. All right, guys, we're gonna time out here just because we need to stop here. Let's go Chiefs. 6 inches, hold them,
I
stop it.
told you.
Oh,
And
my
that's a
gosh.
Patriots touchdown.
This is called the robot. Right there. Can't count out
And the
Tommy
room
B.
deflates.
But hey, still 3 minutes and 32 seconds.
And all they need
Lots
is a
of
field goal
time.
to tie it. So come on, Chiefs, please, for the love of God.
Can we
keep the
afford an
3
overtime
years-
right now? I
3
don't think we
years
have
in a
enough
row.
show to go to overtime. 'Cause we still got Sports Jeopardy to do, you know. So
If the Patriots go 3 years in a row, like, I mean, it was interesting because the top 4 offenses in the NFL are in the
I don't
AFC
want
and
the,
NFC championships
here's
right
the
now.
main reason I don't want the Patriots to go. Former ABQ Sports Crew members Corey Land and Isaiah Trujillo.
Izzy.
I would never see the end of it on any of my social media feeds. Who wants to bet me this week? Who's gonna be? Oh my gosh, it's just gonna be horrible. But if they lose, I'm still gonna see it on my feed. I just won't see it during.
So
Super
here goes. We have 3 minutes and 30 seconds to see the legacy of Andy Reid. His play calling right here, his decision making, and how he utilizes his team to march down the field is going to be consistent with everything we're going to think about him for the next year.
You know what's scary is Andy Reid's been in this situation with Bill Belichick before. Philadelphia, New England Super Bowl. Remember, the Eagles were down by 3. We're down by 3 with just 3 minutes to go. And Donovan McNabb had 95 yards to go, and what happened?
Good old McNabb, dude. I love him.
I hated that guy.
You didn't like McNabb? Well, he was an Eagle. Of course you
hated
hated him.
that guy. Just like I hated T.O. and then he became a
You weren't a
cowboy.
fan of Aikman at all either, right?
No, man, I was like 5 years old during that time.
I remember Elijah was the biggest Jay Novacek.
Yeah,
fan.
I'm a true Cowboy
Yeah.
fan. I like, Novacek. Nobody knows who that guy even is or was.
Remember he had the football cards in Novacek.
Hey, were you feeling Mark Sanchez when he came down there as a backup? And was just like,
Dude, that's funny that Mark Sanchez has played for all of our teams.
he never played for the Cowboys, did he?
Yeah,
He did see the field? When?
Was
Was
it
it when Romo went out? We went
Really?
through like 500.
Was it Romo or was it Prescott?
I don't know.
I don't know. One of them. He
One
played
of
for
them.
all 3 of our teams.
Yeah, he played a little bit more for mine, but
Onside kick. I'm just kidding.
All right, don't play with my emotions.
Come on.
Elijah had
Guys,
everybody looking at the TV.
If you're out there, put your fingers together and say a prayer for the Kansas City Chiefs right now. With a great return up to the 32, 3:36 on the clock.
Elijah,
They've got two
are you
timeouts.
playing the role of Isaiah Trujillo right now?
My heart is about to beat out of my chest.
Oh, that's such a crazy.
That's the call right there in this game so
right
far.
There, exactly.
The hit on Tom Brady's little
Of course,
face
he throws it incomplete, and so they're going to call him for. I mean, you can't touch the 12. Smack the 12.
That's Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that's a BS call for Aaron Rodgers. Brady, it's okay.
Patrick Mahomes. Oh, we can't broadcast. It's against the rules.
You call him McHolmes?
Patrick Mahomes. He runs and throws since I can't broadcast the game.
Just start using like baseball player names. Kershaw behind center.
Wearing Braves.
Throws it and just a bit outside.
Yeah.
Oh,
but, yeah.
this is what stress looks like right here.
That's what it smells like too. All right, we can end the show.
I can't handle this. I don't even know why we did a live show because I am so sucked into this game right now. Like, I hate.
We did it because
Brady
we
and
got
the
Sports
Patriots so
Jeopardy
much.
coming up here in just a little while.
I see you all out there. We got you guys out there. I see the live viewers. Like, tell us, like, what's going on in your head right now? Like, and he drops it. Kelsey drops it. That's not a fumble.
There's
They
a
call
flag on the play.
And they'll keep the ball live, but that's an obvious
Hey,
incomplete
Travis
pass.
Kelsey, stop doing those McDonald's commercials. Those fries
That's
are
an
getting to you.
incomplete pass. There's no way. I mean, I know they'll let the play go live because the refs love the Patriots, but
Bumbo.
So, New England loses. Is Gronk done in New England?
yes.
He's gonna be a
If they
Cowboy
win,
next year.
Is he
think
done
they
with New
want
England?
him. Yes, I think he's done. Period. I think hopefully this is his last
holding
game.
call, bailing him out.
There you go. That's what I'm talking. Why are you like? How could you ever say?
We kick him out.
Yeah, go.
Somebody's got to play devil's advocate over here.
You just got the
Oh,
woman.
that's clean.
They threw him on the ground. Like my belly. You hear that? Like my belly's even growling right now. Like I'm so nervous. Like I don't even like the Chiefs. Like growing up in a Broncos household out in Colorado, I learned
Yeah,
to
what
hate
happened?
the Chiefs.
You totally went a different direction on that one.
But it's essentially anybody
But-
but
Did you get dropped on your head as a baby?
Wow, that's a little mean.
that's rough. No, I'm not in the front office for Denver.
Oh, more.
At least we hired.
Hey, your team.
I can't even talk right
At
now.
least we hire good head coaches, not somebody that.
Adam Gase. Oh man,
What was like? Nobody ever explained that. So they're saying the guy is like really intelligent, but
No, he's just
they
staring
said he
at.
had like nervous tics or something. Like
What
I
was he
never
looking
got
at?
an
Like,
explanation.
I love the little taco meme.
floating taco?
Like that was just the
I
greatest
feel like
thing ever.
it's very hard to like mess up the initial press conference.
It's always-
Like it's just everybody's happy, whatever, and he made it really awkward.
He looked like a psychopath.
It was like when you realize that you signed on as the Jets head coach.
Yeah.
You're like, crap.
It's
What
just
did I get myself
god-awful.
into? Because you
so-
guys were going after Mike McCartney, right? And you're like, that's who.
No, that's what a lot of people were saying, but I'm so glad we didn't get him. He's the most overrated coach that was out there. Like, but what was that?
There's
Anyways,
nobody there.
so realistically,
Is
they
he
need
still
about 30, 40 yards.
Is he
right
still
now.
unemployed?
Mike, yeah, he said he's gonna take a breather this year.
Yeah, that's because nobody hired
And
him.
nobody wants to hire him. So
That's the problem. You
Hey.
had Aaron Rodgers, you had a great team, and you could
Speaking,
only
of,
get.
speaking of
Yeah,
guys that took a
Rodgers.
break and are coming back, Chuck Del Rio is going to be the lead candidate for Cincinnati's job. So,
Cincinnati is such a bad job. Hey, how about
but
this?
look
Like,
at what Jack Del Rio has done though with his teams. He took a Jacksonville team and made him very competitive back in the day. Yes, he did. The Raiders were very
He
competitive.
was only
with
good
him.
as an offensive coordinator, and that's it. Bum coach.
he jumped before he threw that. What are you doing, Mahomes? Oh, and the flag? Did he call
Yeah,
it?
there-
Yes! Talk about like uncatchable. That was overthrown by like 15 yards.
Dude, stop. Jen's giving you
Here we
a look,
go.
dude.
Bailing him. Oh, he's limping.
Uh-oh. Come on, Mahomes. This is your
Showtime.
time to shine. That's a
Yeah.
spot foul. Put him in field goal
Nothing
range.
scarier than the woman look when she just looks at you. and she's gonna
Showtime
rip your head off,
Mahomes.
and
Can't get
that's-
hurt. Or he's going to lose out on $200 million in 2020.
Unplug his mic.
No, because we're all plugged into the same
Hey, did you
system.
see? Did you happen to see the commercial today with?
Oh,
roughing the passer.
Wow.
Did you see
Oh,
the
that was declined.
the commercial
Shut
today
up,
with
Adam.
Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, dude, that was hilarious.
No,
Like,
dude, that's so petty, and I'm so over it at this point. Like, I know you don't like to.
dude, no, I'm not talking
That's
about
all
him. I
touchy.
was talking about Cooper Manning. That dude's hilarious.
No, I'm talking about. Did you see the one with Baker Mayfield? He's like, oh, I wasn't talking to Hugh, or I mean you. And he's like, he's still taking jabs at his old coach. I'm like, dude, that's
I already
petty.
ranted on that. I don't
He's
get it.
petty. He's a child. I don't care how talented you are. That's just disrespectful.
That's such a come on. That's such a weak call, man.
Hey, maybe if you put more energy into playing defense and not jumping in the air.
But the Chiefs
Stupid.
got. Hey, but
He
one
should have
thing.
just taken him out.
One
and then
thing
they
here,
wouldn't
the
have called
Chiefs
it.
have got to be careful. You cannot score too early because you are going to give too much time to Tom Brady. You've got to kill that clock.
That is an absolute.